Good afternoon, good day, good morning, wherever you are. Today we are looking at the calculator again. The last video we were looking at some user interface and design considerations, and today we are just going to put doing a little tiny bit of programming, perhaps the the smallest calculator in terms of lines of code, but we don't really look for those things. But in this case here, what we've you will note here that the my interface has changed slightly. Someone had pointed me towards, let's just say, a panel with with child control options. So what I did was I added in an anchored dock panel, and I made the buttons all child controls of that panel. And then what I was able to do was to where is it now? Hit the escape button once to get back to the panel, is to tell it how many controls per line there are, and also the how the sizing of the child controls, and then the horizontal and vertical spacing. Now this particular component here, I believe it was part of the it's part of the anchored docking package, and I had installed that to provide me with this complete view here in Lazarus. So rather than it having that old Delphi 6.7 look where everything was broken apart, this gives me a unified view. And that particular component was installed into the additional palette, and the other thing I had to do was just turn off the bevel outer and inner, because otherwise it looked like a package. So hey, I installed something for Lazarus, and also get something I can use in a program, and that just makes the interface look a little bit cleaner, as far as the spacing of the buttons, etc. were concerned. PC does have a expression parser, I think it is. I'll just have to search for it again, because this particular npm this particular component would actually allow me to essentially just type in an expression into that quote unquote here we go, into that memo field, and the expression parser would calculate the answer for me. So we'll go over to the wiki page. In Australia, by the way, we do not have the quickest internet in the world, so I believe that I should have this already. So so what do we need to do here? Create a parser, we'll free the parser, and somehow we've got to tell it we're doing something with it. Expression equals 1 plus 1, and then we can evaluate it, and then we can do so we will do an expression, evaluate. Okay, so let us begin, shall we? So we need that particular unit apparently, and by the way, unless I actually need something for, in order for the parts in the interface section to be defined or declared elsewhere, I will try and put all of my units down here. So let's make sure that we have this one, and look at that, it's already here. And so here we were building up the expression, and I know that for this button here we had a tab order, sorry, a tag I should say, which was 12. So if the tag is 12, we want to evaluate the expression. I don't know if it wants the expression with or without the equal sign, but this is where we I don't want to say trial and error, but this is where we will start to see how have to work out how the component works. So procedure, we're going to add in a procedure here, and we may as well call this one here well, let's call it here do calculation. CALCULATION. Okay, so here we need to do if sender as T button. Whoops, what's happened here? Dot tag equals 12, then do calculation, and here we will need to let's go back over to my where's my web page gone? Okay, we need to have one of these. In an initial instance, I'm not really that worried about copying and pasting code, because what I want to see is actually something working. And oh, why is my brain not working today? Okay, so let's try that again, shall we? Control C and Control V, and let's get rid of that line there. Okay, now we're halfway there. Okay, so we now do parser dot free, and the next bit is what do we need to do here. So I've created the parser. It says something below about what we're working with. So let's hope that's all I need to do for that little bit. It just seems odd that I wouldn't be built in, but hey, who knows? And now we will need that line there, and then we need to have an expression here, and we need to obviously declare this one. Actually, someone did say I could actually complete something here. Was it Control Enter? Maybe. Nope, that didn't. File not found. Ugh. It's on the other window. Okay, so let's go for here and drop that one, and that is going to be an expression result. Now, how do we know? Okay, here we go. So an expression, we also have a result type. Okay, what is this mysterious expression result? Since the parser is very flexible, blah, blah, blah. There can be more calculations. Okay, so the result type has a result type. Okay, expression result. So the parser result has an. Okay, so let's see what we've got here now. Dot result. Okay. So we could do something here on think if. Okay, it's either going to be what are the options here? So it could be an integer or a float. Well, it ain't going to be a date time here, so it's either going to be an integer or a float. So let's just do here case of an end here, and I know what the two types can be, but let's go for that one. Well, it could have been a currency, I guess, but don't not care. Or a float here. And if it is that, what are they saying here? Arg to float. Okay, parse result. Okay, so that will be a double, and we could do here. I wonder if there's a way I could get that to a string or something. Okay, result type name, built-in identifiers, token name. Okay. Something else I'm not aware of. Okay. Expression parser. To what we're working with here, really. So we're getting, I don't know what the different things are, but okay. So look, we are going to get a parser result. So we know that. Hang on, let's see what that's going to do for us. Get us float. Ah. So it's already got part of that as well. So it's going to evaluate the expression there. Get its currency. Check result, res. Okay, so why would I want to look at that as a currency as opposed to a, what would that give me back? See, I'm not 100% certain whether I would, whether that be 0.0, but anyway, let's just quickly find where this arg to float function. Oh, there it was there. Okay. An expression float is a double. Okay. And here I would do some. Okay, so here we go. So let's do now. Text is a string, and here we could say here text equals into actually we could I wonder if we could do this. Let's try this out, shall we? Parser result dot res integer dot to string, and here I would want to do, now that's going to be a double, so we can there do here dot to string as well, and we could do this, and now we could probably should say up here text equals let's just say here not a number, for lack of a better value, and then we could do here memo.lines.add, and we could add in the word text. 1 plus 2. Okay, so let's do 1 plus 2 times 3. That will come in here, do the calculation with the equal sign. Something gets happened. We get an answer, and when they start clicking again, we can, we should, okay. Okay, so when they start clicking again, let's do a reset. So, would I need a reset flag now for that one? Okay, so let's do here, if new calculation is a boolean, and here we will say okay, so they click on the button. It is going to be new calculation, but I don't want to turn that on until okay. Okay, that should really be an answer flag. Okay. If answer shown. So here, what I will do now is say if answer shown equals true, and here I can say equals false, and that can let the memo grow quite happily. And down, I probably should add in here on the form create that's the form, isn't it? Yep. On create, we will just make sure that is false as well there. Although if we do click on, it doesn't really matter too much. Probably I'm not going to worry about, well, if the user were to just type in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that would be okay. But we're not going to really worry too much about that for this particular instance here. Let us, okay, we're still running the previous one, so we should cancel that. Hello, welcome back. I just had a phone call, sorry about that. So what's happened is that between the phone call and now, I've found out that if you have an expression with an equal sign at the end, it doesn't like that. The other thing was that when I had in here assigned the memo text to the expression, it couldn't get the text out. So what I have done is to pass the actual text here down to the method, which will get evaluated and answer provided. So this calculator here, for lack of a better phrase, is it's done. We could say, yes, it does allow you to put in something like, y times x equals or something or other, and expect you to try, won't be able to give you an answer, but it will give you an error. Well, it won't work very well. But the whole purpose really of this particular exercise was to basically to learn what is in your environment, or learn what you get with the package, with the system, and utilize that to your advantage. It's about not reinventing the wheel. If something is there and has done the work for you, then it's to your advantage to really use it. Obviously, there may be cases where reinventing the wheel is necessary, but in this instance, I would say not really. So This here is a, so what can we get out of today's little exercise? Well, number one, Lazarus had the U-Butte little expression parser component that you can use for calculations. If you want more information about that, you can look down, go to the Free Pascal wiki page, and I can tell you it does handle variables and other functions, shall we say. Like you can do a sum of, you can do a sine or cosine. You can. I'm not quite sure whether you can write your own functions, because I have used one where um, in Delphi a different expression parser, which had to be purchased. Outside of that, the other thing is to, like I said, I got a docking component, and from that docking component, I was given a another component which allows me to, or gives me easier control over the layout of the form. So that's about it for today's video. Hope it's a shorter one for you all. And if you do like the content here, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and number 3, if you do like my content, please subscribe. It helps the channel to grow, and all we're trying to do is to spread the love of Object Pascal in its various forms, whether that's Delphi, Lazarus, Free Pascal, or otherwise. It's only a good thing. So until next time, ciao.